It's like me looking in the mirror of 20 years ago, in a way, because it's like, yeah, I see you, but you're me. Like, I hear what you're saying, but you're me. What Drive Change is a nonprofit organization, and we use the food truck industry. We have a food truck, it's called Snow Day, and our mission is we train, we employ, we encourage as well as mentor formerly incarcerated young people that come home from adult jails and prison, ages 18 to 25.
In New York, at 16, you're an adult, not a juvenile. In the criminal justice system, we're one of only 2 states that has this really detrimental law in place.
It is insane that 16 and 17-year-olds are landing themselves in a prison like Rikers Island with a 35-year-old man that is a career criminal. So when you put these two things together like oil and water, what do you expect to happen?
I was a teacher on Rikers Island for 3 years, and I was witnessing firsthand the effect of the punitive system and the adult criminal justice system on young people in particular. It really was clear that these young people were being disproportionately impacted by the system and set up to really be recycled back through the system post-release. So the idea of starting a business that could be a platform for continued education is really where the core of Drive Change came from.
We have partnerships with Randall's Island and Battery Park where they donate tons of like greens and tomatoes and onions to us for free, and we sell it. And so we take our young people up there, and they're going to be going out there picking the onions and picking the parsley and all that stuff. So it's great exposure for them to see something you might have been eating. This is how it's grown. This is how you pick it. This is how you tell good from bad. This is how you tell old from new. Like all those things, this is one big educational fellowship. It's what we have boiled up in one, and we're addressing it from a lot of different issues to empower our young people. The reason why the mission of Drive Change as far as training and employing formerly incarcerated young people is so important to me, because when I was young once, and when I was young I was incarcerated at an early age. I was arrested at 19 years old, and after doing a long time incarcerated, I came home. I was 31 going on 32. So I spent almost 13 years in prison. I really started honing in on the specifics of my case that was not valid or not accurate. So I started appealing my case. I've been home for roughly over 7 years, and I would have just been coming home this year. When I got incarcerated, I found myself working in kitchens and making large quantities of food for men, baking cakes and pies and stuff and selling it in prison to men. I found it as a conduit or my solitude. It was my escape. It was very therapeutic for me. When I was cooking, I could easily get lost in what I was doing, and it would like just allow me for just that hour, hour and a half, 2 hours of what I was entrenched in to escape the confines of being in prison.
Being in this program, you got to, cook for people. You got to sell the people the food. And the main thing even better is that we was cooking for ourselves from scratch. We was going out there to these farms, looking for produce. We was getting the best quality of food, and we making the best quality of food, and we have no problem explaining the best quality of food. That's what we do. And that bettered us because we all go back to our same neighborhoods at the end of the day. We all are who we are at the end of the day. But once again, our mindset was different. When I was younger, like 15, 16 years old, that's when I really started going crazy and all that in the world. Started being a menace, started doing things that I shouldn't be doing in the world, like robbing people, just put myself in positions where it's only gonna hurt me at the end of the day.
3 green lights. Why green lights? Because we are changing red lights green. We are about opening opportunity and breaking down walls and turning red lights green to our young people.
The Pinkerton Foundation funds programs for young people in New York City. And when Drive Change came to the attention of the foundation, we were immediately intrigued. Most of the young people who are coming out of prison need employment and income, and they're going to learn in an environment where they're also being supported. And so partly the model, Drive Change's model to actually hire the young people that it serves is really compelling to us.
Drive Change played one of the biggest roles in my life. I mean, next to God and my mother, played the biggest roles. I love Drive Change. Like, I love Jordan. I love them because besides the job, they've been my family. And that's what I look forward to. You know, I embrace that more than the job itself. The fact that I got people who love me, people who help me, who want to help me.
Being young and feeling like you got the weight of the world on your shoulders, and not really realizing or even seeing outside of your current situation, not knowing there's life outside of your immediate neighborhood, or this access or this opportunity, because all you know is this 8-block radius that you might have grew up in, or being entrenched in things that are of the street. Just the mentality as a whole, meeting them where they're at and saying like, listen, I was there. And it doesn't, and I'm not speaking to you from a point like I'm no longer there or I'm like bigger than you, but I'm speaking from the perspective that I've experienced that. And I know what it's like, and I also know what it's like to overcome that. And it's going to be a long road for you. It's not an easy thing, but you have to first know there's a problem, and secondly, you have to be willing to address this problem.